Hey everybody, welcome back to Clubhouse Talk. As always, I am the host of the show, Sean Ferguson. And again, thank you guys so much for tuning into these videos, watching. Please like and subscribe if you like the content. And today's video, we are talking about the MLB awards that came out not too long ago. This offseason is so much fun to me. I feel like baseball does feel fun again. I feel like the MLB is keeping up now with the NFL, the NBA. They're making the sport feel like a year-long thing and not just a season. The off-season is just as fun. You kind of come down a little bit of this high of the regular season, the playoffs, the World Series, and then you kind of dip down. Well, the off-season is kind of still picking me up. You know, you have the Shohei sweepstakes. You know, he's going to get paid, but where's he going? There's a couple surprise teams coming in there. It's fun. It's exciting. There's trades happening. Winter meetings are kicking off. What are these teams like the Orioles and Rays going to do after having fantastic regular seasons but struggling in the postseason? They need to add a few pieces. How are they going to go about it? It's awesome. Those are going to come out in other videos also, but this video that we're talking about today, the awards that just came out for some absolutely deserving players. We're going to go into a little detail on some of them, like your manager of the year, your MVPs, your Cy Youngs, and then we're going to get into the Gold Gloves, Silver Sluggers to let you know who won all the awards. And for the most part, I think like really the only nitpicks or controversy was around the Silver Sluggers or Gold Gloves. Just this league is so good defensively in a way that it hasn't been in years, with just about everybody in every position is out of their mind fantastic. So it does get hard to really pick and choose on certain positions. Like for me, like catcher for the American League Gold Glove, that's a tough one. Third and shortstop, that's hard too. But the guys who won were well deserving. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and hop into it. We're going to start off with the award for Manager of the Year, and we're going to start off in the National League. My man Skip Schumacher, he wins it. First year / first time manager. Does it for the Miami Marlins, their fourth playoff appearance in franchise history. He took them to. They snuck in the playoffs, but they got there. They weren't expected to, and he did an absolutely terrific job. This team had a ridiculous record. I believe it was 33-14 in one-run games, which is hard to do, and just an absolutely stellar year in his first year with the team, and this team's going to be good for years to come. Speaking of that, Brandon Hyde, his team, the Orioles, lost 100-plus game 2 years ago. They won 101 this year, just 2 years later. Just a 600-win season in franchise history. He's the fourth manager to win the award. I love what he's doing. This team is going to be World Series contenders, I feel like, a couple years, so I'm excited for that. Sticking with the Orioles, King Felix Bautista. He wins your American League Reliever of the Year, and I'm touching on this one just because of, wow. He misses a chunk of the second half of the season due to that elbow injury, which who knows how much time he's going to lose, but he wins the award despite missing all this time, and that just shows you how absolutely dominant he was for the Orioles this year. He was for sure out when he got on the mound, and he was a massive reason why this team was so good while he played. And sticking with the Orioles, the American League Rookie of the Year, my man, Gunnar Henderson. He had a terrible start to the year, was batting low 200s, high 100s, and he picked it up right before the All-Star break in the second half of the year. He crushed 28 home runs. He had 9 triples. He scored 100 runs. This guy was the heart and soul, one of the hearts and souls, I should say, of this very young gunning Orioles team. So I'm so happy he was able to bring it in. And no doubt here either, National League Rookie of the Year, Corbin Carroll. He had a terrific year for the D-backs. You know, that young guy that helped carry them into the postseason, and he helped them have a longer playoff run for the D-backs than the Orioles did. And there was no doubt about this one. He has such a great year, and him and Henderson together, those guys are going to be forces in either league. Like, I'm so happy to see just how dominant they were, and it's exciting just because they're so young and they have super bright futures. American League Cy Young, no real doubt after this one. Garrett Cole, he earns the award, playing for a terrible team. Both of these guys who won, their teams were just awful, and you kind of thought a move might happen at the trade deadline for both of them, especially for Garrett Cole. You know, the older he's getting, the better he's getting, in my opinion. No matter where he goes, his stuff is just filthy. Just one of the best to ever do it. And He absolutely deserves the Cy Young. Again, you thought he might get moved for some younger talent midway through the season. Just like this guy, Blake Snell, he wins it National League Cy Young. He does it for the Padres. You thought he might move on as well, just because of how dominant he was. And there was so much talk about him. He had a 31.5% strikeout rate, 234 Ks. Wow. Just unreal what he did for the Padres. And he also wins it for the second time in his career. This isn't the first time that Snell won it. He had a great year. You thought he might move on to another team. He didn't. But congrats to both of those guys. This was a no-doubter. Shohei Ohtani, the man we were just talking about, the Shohei sweepstakes. He wins the AL MVP twice now. He has won it. Both unanimously. I don't know who else you would have put in there. He had 44 home runs in 135 games. It's just ridiculous. There's nothing that this guy can't do. I'm really, really excited to see where he goes. He's definitely not going back to the Angels, so that's going to be fun to watch. National League MVP, Mr. Ronald Acuna Jr. wins it, and he won this unanimously. You can say there was a little controversy there. There's other guys, in my opinion, that did deserve votes, but to win it, it was him. So if you're going to give him to him unanimously or not, who cares? This guy had a ridiculous season, and he deserved to win the award. So those are your big awards. Again, no real controversy to me. You could have given some guys some votes on some others, so these weren't unanimous, but in the long run, it didn't matter because the guys who won it deserved to win it, and that's all that matters. Roberto Clemente Award, that's going to go to Aaron Judge, so the Yankees are getting another award winner. Your Comeback Players of the Year, Liam Hendricks, he wins it along with Cody Bellinger. I don't know who else you would have given him to. Especially Bellinger. Those guys had ridiculous seasons. So I'm happy that they were able to win. Gold Gloves. So we're going to break down American League, National League Gold Glove Awards. Again, these guys all deserved it. Fantastic defensively. You could have thrown some other names in there, but like, for instance, catcher. On the American League side, the Rangers, Jonah Heim won. Could have gone to Adley Rutschman. Jonah Heim deserved it. I would have loved to see Rutschman bring it home, but Jonah Heim gets it. Congrats to him, along with his teammate, Nathaniel Lowe. He wins it at first base. Second base goes to Andres Jimenez of the Guardians. Matt Chapman, he wins it for the Blue Jays at third base. Shortstop goes to Anthony Volpe of the Yankees. Left field goes to Stephen Kwan of the Guardians. Center field is Kevin Kiermaier for the Blue Jays. Good for him. Adolis Garcia for the Rangers wins right field. Pitcher goes to Jose Barrios for the Blue Jays. Mauricio Dubon wins it for the Astros at UT. And for the National League, catcher was Gabriel Moreno for the D-backs. Christian Walker, he wins it for the D-backs at first base. Nico Horner, he wins it for the Cubs at second. Brian Hayes wins it for Pittsburgh at third. Dansby Swanson, he wins the Gold Glove Award for the Cubs at shortstop. Ian Happ wins it for the Cubs in left field. Brenton Doyle wins it in center field for the Rockies. Fernando Tatis Jr., right field for the Padres. Zach Wheeler, pitcher for the Phillies. And Ho-Sung Kim, he wins it for the Padres UT. Again, there's a few positions there that you can talk about. Again, I'm a diehard Orioles fan. I would have loved to seen Adley Rutschman win the catcher. Gunnar Henderson, he couldn't really do because he split so much time between shortstop and third base. You couldn't pin down a certain position. So I get it. I understand it. In my opinion, when you put everything together, I wouldn't have changed anything of who you would have given any of those two. So I'm not mad about that. I'm not gonna whine or cry, even though I might want to. Your Silver Slugger Awards, catcher for the Orioles on the American League side, Adley Rutschman wins it, and Gunnar Henderson, he won it for the Orioles on the UT side. So glad to see the Orioles just racking up the hardware. It's really, really rare for them. First base, Yandy Diaz, he won it for the Rays. Marcus Semien, he deserved to win it at second base for the Rangers. Rafael Devers wins it for the Red Sox at third base. Corey Seager won it for the Rangers at shortstop. Your outfielders were Luis Robert Jr. of the White Sox, Julio Rodriguez Mariners, and Kyle Tucker for the Astros. They won it on the outfield side. Shohei Ohtani, no doubter, DH for the Angels. National League side, catcher for the Brewers, William Contreras. First baseman, Matt Olson, Braves. That's kind of the guy I was hinting to as another guy who could have received votes for the MVP just because of how ridiculous his season was, but Acuna Jr. deserved to win it. Second base, Luis Rise for the Marlins. Braves third baseman, Austin Riley, he wins it. Shortstop goes to the Mets, Francisco Lindor. Your outfielders, Ronald Acuna Jr., along with Mookie Betts of the Dodgers, and then Juan Soto of the Padres. They win your outfield awards. The DH, they gave it to Bryce Harper of the Phillies, and UT goes to the Cubs, Cody Bellinger. So overall, those were your awards given out this year. Again, no controversy to me. I'm happy for everyone that won. Everyone to me deserved it. Shohei, I know some people are saying you could possibly throw him in for Cy Young votes. He wasn't going to win it just because of how much time he did miss and just how dominant Garrett Cole was over an entire season. So it could have been a chance if Shohei did play the entire year, but he didn't. So I'm not going to knock him for that. But overall, those were your MLB awards. Let me know down in the comments if you guys think that anybody else should have received any type of awards or should have been in a consideration. Like I said, overall, I think everyone who won was deserving. You could have put a few other votes in certain places or maybe placed someone else when it comes to Gold Gloves or Silver Slugger. But overall, when it comes to the big awards like the Cy Youngs, the MVPs, and the Manager of the Years, I think they got them right. In my opinion, no one else was as deserving as those guys that won it. So please let me know down in the comments what you guys think of these awards that were given out. And I look forward to seeing you guys